Overnight, all creatures except humans evolved. My cat became enormous, currently staring at me with eyes bigger than fists, fiercely glaring, its sharp fangs pressing against my neck. Tell me, why did you castrate me back then? As I slept, a heavy weight pressed down on my chest, growing heavier and heavier. I struggled to get up and turned on my phone for light. A cat paw thicker than my waist rested on my chest, its huge head on my pillow, yellow vertical pupils bigger than fists staring intently at me. Instantly, I broke out in a cold sweat. Looking closer, this cat was identical to my grapefruit, a calico cat, with a round yellow patch on its head, a tender pink nose, and yellow eyes. Grapefruit, I called out uncertainly. The giant cat narrowed its eyes, the tip of its tail coiling around my calf. Judging by this habit, it's my cat. It's just, why did it get so big? I immediately turned on the light to check and found grapefruit was fine, just much larger. I took out my phone and searched on Xiaohongshu, which I use as an encyclopedia. The overwhelming flood of posts shocked me. Help. The sunflower I kept at home grew serrations and wants to eat me. Who understands? My hamster got bigger from too much food and is gnawing on its cage. The world can't live without doggos. My dog got big and protected me from wild animal attacks. I woke up startled. My cat performed a crosstalk show for me on the spot. I clicked on the one with the highest heat. Massive changes in plants and animals. Humanity's doomsday has finally arrived. The poster criticized humanity's destruction of plants and animals, especially the abuse of animals, and spoke in a frenzied tone that humans are the most damnable creatures. This evolution of plants and animals, he claimed, was a punishment from the gods for humanity. What a radical lunatic. Just as I was about to refresh, the internet froze, and the lights overhead flickered. I rolled out of bed, pulled back the curtains, and looked outside. The world outside was already in chaos. The greenery in the community had transformed into a small rainforest. The grass had grown to be almost as tall as a person, and the willow trees had become enormous, their branches unfurling and drooping to the ground. A dark shadow was running in the grass. Upon closer inspection, they were rats as tall as half a person. A group of rats charged at a running man, and in an instant, the man was torn to shreds, with blood splattered everywhere. The bloody scene made me bend over and gag uncontrollably. Something wet touched my cheek. It was grapefruit, nuzzling me gently with its pink nose. I turned my head to look at my cat, which now stood as big as half my bedroom, opening its enormous mouth at me, sharp fangs, a tongue covered in barbs. With just one bite, my head would be split open like a shattered watermelon. I was completely stunned, then closed my eyes. Without parents in this life, only the grapefruit I found has been following me. I'd rather die in my kitten's arms than be bitten to death by a rat. Stupid human, did you really think I'd eat you? The expected pain didn't come, but I heard the little boy's voice. I opened my eyes and saw mockery in a cat's face. Grapefruit, you can talk. I suddenly could last night. Finally I can let you know I'm cursing at you. Grapefruit's expression was fierce, but its tail wrapped around my ankle. I suddenly felt relieved, rushed up and hugged its fluffy cat head. My good big son, let go of me, you stupid human. The world has become unrecognizable, but my kitten still remembers me. That's great. I was pushed away by grapefruit with a slap. It turned around and showed me its huge butt. Stupid human, don't forget what you did to me. Seeing its pouting but was empty, I had an epiphany. Grapefruit turned around, bared its fangs, and asked me fiercely, remember now, tell me, why did you cut off my balls back then? I immediately backed away, dropped to my knees with a fierce tiger pounce, and hugged its big paw. Grapefruit, Mom did it for your own good. I found you a female cat, but you didn't like her. I was afraid you'd get sick, so I had to get rid of your balls. Grapefruit was so angry its back fur exploded, its huge tail slapping the ground with a pat pat. The white ugly fat guy you were looking for said he was for my wife. So ugly, such an ugly cat. I was puzzled. How could it call such a beautiful ragdoll cat ugly? Just as I was about to continue coaxing it, my phone rang. I glanced at Shio's expression and took out my phone. It was a video call from my bestie Jianya. My heart skipped a beat. She had just bought 2 husky puppies 2 months ago. Could it be that the puppies hadn't recognized their owner yet and mutated? I quickly answered. Jianya on the other end of the phone looked rosy-cheeked, and her robust voice made my eardrums hurt. Zhao Laolai, the apocalypse is here. Are you busy? I breathed a sigh of relief. I'm fine. How about you? Where are your puppies? Sigh, don't mention it. When I woke up this morning, those 2 dogs suddenly grew taller than me, circled me and called me mommy. They were so noisy that my ears are a bit deaf. My cat can also talk after growing up. The world is in chaos now. How are things on your end? I'll come over to find you. Jiangya waved her hand. Don't come over. It's not safe. Let's go to the rendezvous point. The video lagged, and the call reminded me that my current network was poor. What did you say? The connection is stuck. Fengjiang Road. No. 62. Rendezvous. The network completely died, and the entire phone lost signal. No matter how I tried to operate it, the network and signal showed no response. It seemed that the entire city had lost signal. I knew the location Jiangya mentioned. It was the address of the former orphanage. Now only a 2-story small building remained. Jiangya and I came from the same orphanage. We have no other family but each other. I have to meet up with her. I packed my backpack and looked at Shio, curled up by the door, with a worried frown. The situation outside is dangerous and unknown. Right now, I'm just a burden. I don't know if I should leave with my kitten. You idiot. I can hear that it's dangerous outside. Apologize to me, and I'll take you to that place. Shio's voice was crisp like a young boy's, and its orange eyes seemed to only focus on me. I immediately slid and pounced, hugging Shio's big paws. Shio, Mommy was wrong. I didn't know Gadon hurt you so much. If you can forgive me, Mommy is willing to live in a mansion too. What's a mansion? It's a very empty house, where humans feel a sense of hollow loneliness when they live in it. Shio narrowed its eyes and stared at me, just as I started to feel guilty. It finally spoke. I'll reluctantly forgive you. Just as I was about to laugh, I suddenly felt myself lifted into the air. Shio's thick tail wrapped tightly around my waist, and with a gentle swipe of its paw, the gauze screen on the balcony was torn open with a large hole. The cat, as big as a bear, rolled me up and leaped lightly. Damn it. This is the 10th floor. As I screamed in despair, Shio landed gracefully on the ground, casually crushing a large rat. After putting me down, Shio licked its paws and said slowly, so noisy. I patted my calmed heart and said, grapefruit. Let's head southeast for about 20 kilometers. There's a 3-story building there. We'll meet your Aunt Jiang there. Seeing Grapefruit's tail wagging over to wrap around my waist again, I quickly said, it's tiring for you to carry me with your tail. How about I sit on your back, gently hugging you, and we run together against the wind? Grapefruit tilted its head to consider, then lay down. What? It's actually this cooperative. I quickly seized the opportunity, lifted my leg, and climbed onto Grapefruit's back, holding onto its fur to steady myself. Grapefruit, you're really good. You're actually willing to. Before I could finish, Grapefruit suddenly bolted, the wind blowing head on puffed my mouth into a giant bun. You're too fast. Grapefruit didn't even spare me a glance, burying its head and running like crazy. I could only hold on to the fur in my hands tightly, being jostled so much that my brain pulp was sloshing around, and every now and then, shed fur would get plastered onto my face by the wind. I cried, how can it still shed fur even after mutating? Grapefruit leaped with me across the road, then suddenly perked up its ears. Idiot. Something is following us from behind. I nervously tightened my grip on the fur, and looked back, but couldn't see anything. Grapefruit accelerated, taking me through sharp turns, and I only heard a huge sound hundreds of meters behind us diagonally. The thing chasing us crashed into the wall. Shio ran with me for a few more minutes, then lowered its head and dumped me in a trash can. Stay here and don't come out. I'll go check. After saying that, it ran off without looking back. I hugged myself and huddled in the stinking trash, thinking. We ran for a long time, but the shadow kept following us at a leisurely pace, which meant the other party could track us with some method, and they weren't slow. I'd seen cats walking alone on the street, but the other party only chased us. This meant the target was me. Thinking of this, I hurriedly stood up, wanting to call Shio back, but as soon as I climbed out of the trash can, I froze. A gigantic black Doberman pinscher was less than 2 meters away from me. This was the shadow that had been chasing us. The Doberman was covered in dust and scars. Its right eye was slashed, clearly a stray dog. Its remaining eye was filled with red veins, and its huge fangs dripped with foul, smelling saliva as it lunged at me. I was so scared I froze completely, stunned for a second before I took off running, but it was too late. Meow. A cold glint flashed. Sharp teeth were about to bite my head, and a cat's paw swiped at the Doberman. The Doberman reacted quickly, jumping up and narrowly dodging the claw aimed at its eye, but it inevitably got several bloody gashes on its chest. Shio was back. Its furry tail swept me aside, and Grapefruit stood in front of me, arching its back and hissing, fiercely protecting me behind it. The Doberman also let out a terrifying growl, and the cat and dog began to tear at each other. Grapefruit was agile, but how could a 2-year Old house cat be a match for a powerful Doberman? Soon. It sustained several nasty bites from the Doberman. Half of its ear was torn off by the Doberman, and blood stained the round mark on its head a bloody red. The Doberman also had deep, bone, revealing scratches on its body. The cat and dog faced off like this, neither giving way, baring their fangs and threatening each other. Before the Doberman could attack again, I grabbed something from my backpack and rushed out. You let Grapefruit go. It's just a kitten. I'll let you eat me. I stood in front of Grapefruit, holding up the wolf, repellent stun gun in my hand, trembling uncontrollably. I'm afraid of death, very afraid of death. I did consider escaping amidst the chaos just now, but the moment Grapefruit's ear was torn off, blood rushed to my head, and my body moved faster than my brain. Hey, I don't need you. You hurry up and go. Grapefruit tried to push me away with its paws, but I dodged it and ran towards the Doberman myself. When it's eating me, you run. If I'm going to die, then so be it. No one is going to touch my kitten. Seeing me run over, Doberman took 2 steps back. Huh, what's going on? Hey, have you ever thought about getting rid of your cat? Doberman stared at me and spoke fiercely. Its blood, red eyes menacing, but I saw a hint of vulnerability in them. I thought for a moment, put down the stun baton, and answered it seriously. No, I've had my cat since I was little. It's my family. I won't abandon it or let anyone hurt it unless I'm dead. Disgusting. I'm too lazy to eat you guys. Doberman retracted its fangs, said this, and ran off. I exhaled, my whole body going weak. I was pretty scared of teeth as big as my face. Before I could recover, Shio wrapped its tail around me and ran, only letting me down on a rooftop platform. It turned its head and gently nudged me with its pink nose. Idiot, you were pretty cool just now. My big boy, call me mommy. Shio turned around and showed me its butt again. Give me back my egg first. After all that running around, we had long strayed from our original path. The plants around us were still growing, and the city had long lost its original appearance. It rained heavily yesterday, and a light mist lingered. Green plants entwined modern buildings. Black shadows darted through the grass, and human screams occasionally came from unseen corners. I turned my head away, pretending I didn't hear. In an environment that felt like the end of the world, I could barely save myself, let alone my kitten who was already injured for me. Shio squatted to the side, licking its fresh wound, its paw carefully avoiding its half-severed ear. Cats have a high pain tolerance. Just because it doesn't show it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. I patted Shio's fluffy face sadly. It turned its butt towards me, and when I followed, I sadly patted its butt again. After resting for a while, I wanted to continue, but Shio disagreed. You're so weak. Wait for me here. I'll go ahead and check, then come back for you. I disagreed and insisted on going. Shio gently pushed me to the ground with a paw. You just wait for me here, or I'll make you live in a big villa as punishment. Shio peed a big puddle in the corner of the platform, and told me to stand in the soil moistened by its urine, saying that the smell was strong and I wouldn't be discovered. I refused to do it no matter what, but couldn't resist when it pushed me into it with a paw and stepped in the urine. In the end, I could only endure it. After all, we had been followed by a dog with a keen sense of smell before. It circled me a few times, clearly worried, and only left after leaving another large dropping before it felt at ease. I was almost suffocated by the stench, but I didn't dare to leave on my own. I squatted on the ground, covering my nose, and waited for a while. It was too smelly. I couldn't take it anymore. Just as I was about to stand up and move, I heard the familiar voice of a little boy behind me. Mom, come with me. The road ahead is safe. I turned back. Shio was standing not far away. A thick fog seemed to have risen around, and the wind blew a faint sweet scent. Okay, I'm coming right now. I stood up. My legs were numb and I couldn't stand steady. My body tilted, and I just missed Shio's sweeping big tail. Mom, hurry up and come over. Shio's tail missed, and it paced back and forth anxiously in place. I grabbed my backpack, lowered my head to rummage for something. Good baby, I'll walk over myself. You must be hungry after exploring. I'll get you some canned food now. Okay, thank you Mom. I can have a full meal right away. Shio watched me approach, its barbed tongue sticking out to lick the corners of its mouth, opening its big mouth to signal me to pour the canned food into its mouth. Okay. I instantly pulled a bottle of vodka out of the bag and threw it into its mouth, and with my left hand, I tossed out a lit lighter. Boom. Flames instantly blazed from Shio's mouth, gradually engulfing its entire body. Aha! The thick fog dispersed with the flames, and the faint sweet scent vanished without a trace. Shio rolled on the ground in pain, finally revealing its true form. It was a Venus flytrap the size of an adult, with blood, red leaves and sharp serrations, emitting screams similar to a human's. Still want to fool your dad? My Shio has always called me a fool. I flipped off the Venus flytrap and turned to run. Who knows if it'll grow legs and chase me if it gets angry. I ran a bit, panting, then stopped. If I ran too far, Shio might not be able to find me. Besides, I usually just watch shows at home after work. Running this short distance is killing me. I leaned against the wall, gasping for air. A shadow fell over me. Hello there. I looked up. A pair of huge bean-like eyes stared at me. It was a giant hamster. Holy crap. I took off running. The hamster zoomed in front of me and blocked my path. A super handsome guy slid off the hamster's back, his expression serious as he walked up to me step by step. Hello. Whoa. You puked on my shoes. The handsome guy opened his mouth and vomited on the ground. Sorry. I get motion sick around rodents. The big hamster sat down on the ground and expertly crossed its legs. I told you this little bro is weak. He's thrown up 3 times today. Then it took a sunflower seed out of its mouth and offered it to me. Sis, want one? I looked at the wet, saliva-covered sunflower seed in front of me and politely refused. The hamster retracted its paw and shoved the seed into its mouth. This sis is quite polite. Little bro, are you done throwing up? You're puking from just eating a little something. The handsome guy stood up, wiped his mouth, and said weakly, Okay, sorry, miss, my hamster rolls when he walks. I'm a bit unaccustomed to it. Finally, I see a living person. You have no idea how we got here along the way. The hamster interjected. Yeah, that scene was so bloody. Good thing I'm fast and loyal. I've been protecting him this whole way. The handsome guy glanced at the hamster and continued to ask me, Excuse me, do you know what happened to this city? I shook my head. I'm not sure either. My cat also suddenly got bigger overnight. Just as the handsome guy was about to say something, the hamster screamed, Cat. You have a cat. You're a good-looking girl. Why would you keep that thing? No wonder you always smell bad. It's too scary. After saying that, the hamster scrambled away. Go Dan. You ran off by yourself again. Sorry, miss, I have to go. I hope we can meet again someday. The handsome guy waved goodbye to me and turned to sprint. Wait for me. Before I could say anything, the guy and the hamster had already disappeared from sight. Some encounters are like tornadoes. I squatted in place, thinking, this handsome guy was also the first living person I'd met. Along the way, we also saw quite a few people killed by mutated animals. Some of them I recognized. They had participated in animal culling activities before. Connecting this to the posts I saw this morning, I had a guess, but I wasn't sure yet. How did you end up here? A boy's voice came from behind. I turned around, and it was she looking for me. Something happened, so I ran. I figured you'd find me. Why does it smell so bad in here? Shio twitched its little pink nose, walked over, and rubbed its body back and forth against me. This was something it often did before, to get its scent on me. Shio purred softly. I've already seen the way ahead. Get on. I'll take you there. I climbed back onto Shio's back. This time I was experienced, and as soon as I sat down, I tightly closed my mouth. The person and the cat snuggled together, galloping towards their destination. Shio carefully led me to avoid dangerous places, walking and stopping all the way, and finally arrived near the old site of the orphanage. The originally dilapidated and deserted orphanage was surrounded by a circle of iron fences, with faint electric lights flashing on them. As soon as Shio and I got close, a strange alarm sounded, and a group of people in suits rushed out with guns. Shio puffed up its tail and bared its teeth threateningly. The crowd opposite also raised their guns, and the dangerous situation was about to erupt. Heh. Suddenly, a light laugh came. The men in suits parted in the middle, and a young man with grayish, white hair and a delicate, beautiful appearance walked out. He wore a clean white lab coat that seemed out of place, as if a doctor from a research lab had wandered in. I didn't expect anyone to find their way to such a remote place. Who are you? The man chuckled softly. You mean me. I am God's messenger, here to deliver divine punishment to humanity. Is there something wrong with your brain? The man pointed to the grapefruit beside me. Your cat is this big, and it can talk. Right. This is the miracle I created. Are you saying that all these mutations, this chaotic city, are your doing? Do you know how many people have died? The man shrugged indifferently. Humans deserve to die. This is the result I wanted. Ah, right. You have to die too. The men in suits who had been standing by, with their hands down, all raised their guns and aimed them at me. More than 10 dark gun muzzles made me break out in a cold sweat instantly. Shio suddenly jumped in front of me, blocked me tightly, bared its teeth and hissed at them. Shio had never seen a gun and had no idea of its power. I tried hard to pull Shio, wanting it to run away quickly, but it wouldn't budge. I was so anxious that I wanted to run in front of it, but it swept me back behind it with its tail. That's so touching. I'm about to cry. The man clapped his hands as if he had just watched a great play, and wiped away non-existent tears from the corner of his eye with his finger. However, all of you are staying. With a wave of his hand, more than a dozen men in suits raised their hands in unison, ready to fire. He leisurely lit a cigarette. Leave me alive, one of the cats. I need a subject to observe. A burst of gunfire rang out. After mutating, the grapefruit was exceptionally agile and swift. Its tail coiled, and I jumped high in place, dodging a barrage of bullets, and lunged at the men in suits. But this group of people seemed to have undergone strict training, quickly scattering and shooting again at Grapefruit's landing spot. There was an open space near the orphanage, not even a single tree that could be climbed for cover. The men in suits shot repeatedly at the predicted locations, and Grapefruit could only keep jumping to dodge, but the bullets were dense, and inevitably some stray bullets hit Grapefruit. Although the thick fur blocked some of the impact, bullets kept hitting the same spot, and soon Grapefruit had various wounds on its body. The fur, a mixture of yellow, orange, and white, was stuck together with dust and blood. Every time it tried to flee to a safe place, a volley of bullets would sweep past. Grapefruit's speed gradually slowed down, but the tail wrapped around me didn't loosen at all. I didn't even get a scratch. Tears were already filling my eyes. This was the little kitten I couldn't bear to hit. Enough. Put me down, Grapefruit. I have a way to ensure our safety. Grapefruit ignored me, but the bullets kept sweeping, and just now one almost hit me. Grapefruit, trust me, we'll both survive. They're about to reload. That's our only chance to fight back. Next time, you jump to the open space on the left, then run all the way. They'll be drawn to you. I buried a weapon there when I was little. While they're distracted by you, I'll go get the weapon. I patted Grapefruit's tail, my voice unusually firm. Shio believed it. The next time, it jumped to the empty space on the left, while the person opposite was reloading. Shio put me down and ran in another direction. What could I do? I'm just an ordinary person. Without me, Shio might still be alive now. I stood there without moving. As expected, all the gun muzzles were pointing in my direction. I closed my eyes and waited for the bullets. A cool breeze blew. The expected pain didn't come, but I heard a panicked shout. I opened my eyes. A huge dog lunged at the crowd from the side, stopping their actions. Dusty black fur, one eye torn out. It was the Doberman I met before. The Doberman barked and bit one of the men. The men in suits panicked, immediately scattered, and, with practiced precision, prepared to shoot the Doberman. I anxiously wanted to stop them, when a familiar voice came from behind me. You fucking bully, my bestie. Go get him. I excitedly turned around. It was Jianya. Jianya was wearing a black dress and a black leather jacket, pointing imperiously in the direction of the men in suits, her red curly hair blowing in the wind. Okay, Mom. Okay, boss. Charge. For the boss. Go, go, go. I'll eat you, and chew you to death. A large group of mutated dogs of various breeds charged towards the men in suits at Jianya's command. The crowd that was just calmly holding guns and shooting was thrown into disarray by dozens of dogs, scattering in all directions. Soon, the first person was pounced on and bitten by the pack of dogs, then the second, and the third. Two huskies, the size of mutated grapefruits, stayed around Jianya, panting with their tongues out and hopping back and forth. Jianya stood with her arms crossed, her 1.75-meter height not appearing small amidst the dogs surrounding her. Leave some alive, my little ones. We don't kill. Got it. As you command. I know, boss. Soon the dog pack threw the battered man in the suit together, with a few dogs guarding him snarling menacingly. Jianya walked over, bent down, and extended her hand to me. Lie, don't be scared. I'm here. The emotions I'd held back all the way burst out at this moment. I burst into tears and acted spoiled, crying out to her just like when I was bullied in the orphanage, and Jianya helped me fight back. Jianya, this Chunibu is bullying me and wants to kill me and my cat. I've been so wronged on this trip. Jianya pulled me up and hugged me, comforting me. It's okay. I'll deal with him for you. Hey, you in the white coat. Come over here and get beat up. The man with graying hair stood calmly, smoking a cigarette with a faint smile on his lips. Even when his subordinates were subdued by the pack of dogs, he merely narrowed his eyes, as if it were all just a farce. Called by Jianya, He threw his cigarette on the ground, crushed it with his foot, and exhaled a puff of smoke. Tell me, how did you get the dog pack to listen to you? Jiangya gave him the middle finger. None of your fucking business, you dumbass. He didn't care. Turning to the dog pack. Why do you listen to her so much? Facing the man. The pack of dogs inexplicably became docile. A brown mongrel dog was the first to answer. She's our boss, man. The dog pack responded in a babble. She's our leader. We're all strays. And our leader used to feed us often. Our leader is great. She always stopped bad guys who tried to catch us. My leg was badly injured by someone. Our leader treated me. The dog pack's answers made the man lower his head in thought. The brown mongrel dog asked, "Who are you? Why do I feel like I know you?" Yeah. I don't even want to bite you. That's right. Why do I have this familiar yet heartbreaking feeling? It even makes this fierce dog want to cry. The man smiled gently at the dog pack, putting his hands in his pockets. I am an envoy of God. Do you like the changes now? Then, without waiting for the dog pack's reply, he suddenly pulled out a handgun and aimed it at Jiangya. Bang. Meow. Woof. Mom. Boss. Amidst the chaos of shouts and gunshots, the husky that had been by Jiangya's side lunged forward and pushed her down underneath it. Bright red blood splashed onto the ground, and the husky closed its eyes tightly. As soon as Jiangya stood up, she saw the husky with its eyes closed, sticking out its tongue. Anxiously, she shouted, "Ergo, don't die on me." The husky opened its eyes and weakly stuck out its tongue to lick away the tears on Jiangya's face. Mom, I still want to gnaw on a big bone again. Jiangya, with tears streaming down, agreed. Okay, ergo, as long as you're alright, I'll give you all your brother's big bones to eat. Thank you, Mom. Why can't I feel any pain in my butt? Am I dying? Jiangya's tears flowed even more fiercely. I stood next to Shio, who had just run over, and couldn't bear to look away. The husky with the mismatched eyes, which had been on the other side and had also wanted to save Jiangya, spoke in a sarcastic tone. If your butt doesn't hurt, you weren't shot. So why are you acting like such a big shot here? Awoo. Ergo and Jiangya immediately turned their heads. A huge Doberman lay not far away. It was the one who had blocked the bullet at the closest range. It was clearly a modified handgun. The immense power of the close-range shot had torn a large hole in the Doberman's chest, with blood and internal organ fragments gushing out. The Doberman turned its head and looked at me with its only remaining eye. Ignoring Shio's obstruction, I walked over, knelt down on one knee, and stroked its head. Its eyes, always filled with blood red, were now filled with longing and tears. I used to have a very good owner, who would stroke my head like you do. The Doberman's paw twitched, pointing to its neck. I reached out to touch its neck, and it was a collar with an iron tag pendant. The collar was clearly too small, digging deeply into the Doberman's neck, hidden within its fur. I unclasped the collar and placed the iron tag in my palm. 2 lines of text were engraved on it. My name is 11. Please don't hurt me. My owner is very rich. Contact him. 132,885. The numbers after that were already blurred. The Doberman looked at the iron tag in my hand and licked it with its tongue, but blood gushed from its mouth, staining the tag red. It frantically extended its tongue, trying to lick the iron tag clean again, but more and more blood poured from its mouth, and no matter how much it licked, it kept staining the tag red. The Doberman gave up, its head drooping heavily to the ground. One day my owner brought a man over and told me this was his dad, and they would love me together. But this man put me in a bag and threw me into the river. I almost died. I met so many bad people. I couldn't find my way home. More and more blood gushed from its chest and mouth. Don't say any more. Let's treat you first. Jiangya. A vet had already rolled up her sleeves and came over to check the wound, but after looking at the wound, she shook her head. Try again. Jiangya, try again. Okay. My voice was almost a plea. Jiangya took off her coat and stuffed it against the Doberman's chest. Blood quickly soaked through the clothes. Unable to be stopped, the Doberman's eyes were starting to glaze over. Master, I really want to see you again. It completely stopped breathing. I tightly clenched the metal tag in my hand, glaring hatefully at the man who fired the shot. The man in white, with a look of surprise, lowered the hand holding the gun, then gave a self-mocking smile. Even after being hurt by humans like this, you still hold good intentions. The surrounding dogs, changing their previous attitude, all bared their teeth and growled angrily, as if they would pounce and tear him to shreds the next second. I lost, but my goal has also been largely achieved. The man in white looked at me with a bright smile. His smile was filled with brokenness, yet also a strange satisfaction. I couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. He raised his hand, raising the pistol again. The pack of dogs charged at him. Bang! With a huge gunshot. His bullet was fired at himself. Blood stained his white robe, his entire face unrecognizable. The sudden event stunned all of us. From beginning to end, I could never figure out this strange man. In the orphanage's basement, we discovered a large amount of research materials, and the bodies of researchers. The man in white is named Xiao Rue. He led the team to develop the drug and put it into the water source. Carrying out this plan, the world is in chaos, just as he wished. Jiangye and I made the orphanage our base, starting a new life with Xiao and the dogs. At first, I wasn't used to the drastic changes in the world, but later I got used to going hunting with Xiao and met many humans, who lived with animals too. Seeing their friendly smiles, they were people who had treated animals kindly, just like Jiangye and me. Once when we went out, we met someone familiar, a handsome guy riding a hamster. The moment the hamster saw Xiao, it ran away shouting, "Oh my God!" The handsome guy was jolted all the way on the hamster's back and threw up. I patted Xiao's butt and laughed. I wanted to pat Xiao's head too, but ever since it was mocked by the little female cat for not having balls last time, it's been showing me its butt and hasn't given me a good look. Idiot, what do you mean by patting my butt and laughing? Hurry up and go to the big villa to be punished. Okay, my good son. Overnight, plants and animals underwent drastic changes, but a new order has been established in society. My kitten can run freely in the wild without fear of being caught or poisoned. It's not all bad. Extra, Xiao. The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was white. My mother's soft white belly pressed me down. It was very warm. I looked up at the sky, and there were pieces of stuff floating, covering my brother who wasn't far away, burying him in a patch of white. Later, I learned these were snowflakes. And only when you're dead do snowflakes cover you without melting. Mom would sometimes go out alone and bring back food for me. Among her 5 siblings, only I survived that winter. When I got a bit bigger, I met cats that walked on 2 legs. Mom said they were humans. Humans would shoo me away when they saw me. Some small humans would even throw stones at me. So Mom took me to live by the trash heap. She said no humans would come here. It was safe. Strange wounds gradually appeared on Mom's body, with a pungent smell. She lay on the ground for longer and longer periods. Mom must be hungry. I struggled to climb over a pile of smelly trash to go look for food. I found a piece of meat in a place where humans lived. It smelled so good. I swallowed, but didn't eat it. Instead, I carefully bit it and brought it home. I brought the meat to Mom's mouth, but she didn't move. It must be that my food isn't enough. I ran out again and again to find food. Sometimes I'd encounter humans who wanted to catch me. They hit me with iron rods, injuring me. I think I now know how Mom got her injuries. I found a lot of food, all of which I fed to my mom. When I was hungry, I rummaged through trash heaps. There was always something to eat. But Mom never woke up again. My stomach hurt more and more. I looked at my mom lying on the ground and decided to go out to find food one last time. Mom, maybe I won't be able to come back this time. I stumbled out of the trash heap, and not far away, I met a human. Oh my God, what happened to you? This human squatted down and reached out to me. Was she going to hit me? I didn't have the strength to dodge anymore. A warm feeling fell on my head. She petted my head and held me in her arms. Liquid dripped from her eyes onto me. Why are you crying? Strange human. Her embrace was warm and gentle. I fainted. In my dream, I saw my mom. She said, I met the divine being who is soft-hearted towards me.